Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John's report is for the 23rd. Well, we had that 50% move where institutions jump back in on a daily standpoint, and we can see that we had the magenta rise above the yellow at that particular point, and white dip back below red at that spot on the NBI, and correspondingly we had the cross of steel. So that was enough to continue the boost, and of course, you had the EBM yellow up there after it passed the previous level. So all in all, pretty consistent with short-term buyers buying up everything they could find. Started to get a turnaround too as well. We have the green now over red, and red starting to turn up as well. Shakeouts improving, still negative, but that just means we're probably just going to move back and forth across here now after the OPEX transition has been completed. There's still plenty of liquidity out there. And of course, the NASDAQ had been the leader. It always has remained in the positive and continued. So you have that divergence between the two. And NASDAQ kept everything from falling apart completely there. From a gold standpoint, still weak in its own potential basing as you have the magenta over, and if that can start to spike, then that will lift gold up a little bit. The euro stabilizing after that steep decline, and probably going to continue to pull back up there. Again, we'll be looking probably around and move back up to the 50% range. Except for what I look for here in this one is if orange doesn't get passed either by red or even green in this particular case, it could just sideways turn, which isn't going to have much impact on NASDAQ per se, more S&P. Bitcoin, well, as we were making the new lows, we then had magenta pop above white, right at the 23% range, and you had green over on the DOC, so strong improvement from the shakeout after making the new lows. And actually, if we look at the daily on that, we had this positive extreme from back over here, which had that low right around 28.60, and we did 28.8, which is pretty reasonable. So that was, more than 80% fill from within that target range, and it certainly filled all of these other ones that were in the upper 28 range and the 29s as well. So that was pretty decent. And then with the intraday turnaround now, is that sustainable so far? I mean, when you're looking at the 60-minute here, you got white well underneath here. So until that white's back above red and you're getting a decay from magenta yellow, still within range. But of course, interesting how it hits exactly at that 34 previous algo level that we had marked there. And that's what's a little bit of resistance. So if they can break out above that, then the next move is all the way up to 39. So it gives it plenty of range within there. Intraday was relatively boring. I mean, we had the early up and down action, and then it started to build. We had the orange dip below and magenta was above. We had this move right here of the white above, but it corresponded with DOC green over. So that's you're going to have to wait. And even when we did get a return back of a little bit of decay here with the white over, you were still cyan under red. Finally got above, and all it did was just base. Didn't break down at all, so it was kind of a clear indication. And then magenta just stayed above, and that led to the new highs. And then a little bit later on, we got a much cleaner DOC spread. It was still over the 15, but the white had popped over the magenta, and all it did was give enough of a move back down to the 50% where it based, and then you had steel coming back above. So that steel reset becomes a powerful setup, unlike the other decline modes where the steel stays all the way above the zero and never dips down back below. Here you had it coming from a reset position, so that led to the most recent up move, but we still have all those positive extremes that got filled on that dip, which was pretty much in line with expectation on that. And now you still have magenta riding above white. We just had a move above it, so that's what's caused those dots to appear. And that's right at the 50% at this particular stage. So pretty consistent all in all. We'll just keep following it along and go with what is. As always, though, trade well. We'll talk to you later.